Have you ever stopped and wondered how a huge tech idea actually comes to life? I mean, not just the lines of code, but the entire journey, from a simple thought all the way to a massive system serving millions of people. Well, in this explainer, we're going to trace that exact path for artificial intelligence.
Okay, so let's jump right in with a question, because it all kicks off with something, well, surprisingly basic. How does a simple, kind of messy drawing on a piece of paper
Somehow transform into a complex AI, like the recommendation engine on Netflix or the translation tool used every single day? That's the incredible journey we're taking today, from that very first spark of an idea to a full-blown global-scale system.
And believe it or not, it all begins right here, with the power of a simple sketch. This is the very first, very human step in giving shape to an idea that's just floating around in someone's head.
Now, the key thing to get about design sketching is that it is not about creating a perfect work of art. Not at all. It's a functional tool. Think of it as visual brainstorming. It's a way for designers and engineers to quickly explore dozens of possibilities and, maybe most importantly, share those ideas with the whole team. It's all about communication, not perfection.
And that initial, very human act of sketching leads us directly into one of the most important movements in technology today, building human-centered AI.
So, what exactly is human-centered AI, or HAI for short? It's a philosophy, an approach that says we must build these incredibly powerful systems with human needs and values baked in from the very beginning. The goal isn't just to make something that works, but to make something that works for us, responsibly and ethically.
The core mission of HAI is to augment our abilities, to enhance what we can do, not to replace us. It's about creating tools that can make a doctor a better diagnostician or an artist more creative. It's a direct response to that common fear that AI is just here to make people obsolete. It's about keeping humans in the driver's seat.
But building for humans means facing some really tough dilemmas. This quote gets right to the heart of a huge challenge. What happens when an AI model is incredibly accurate, but that tiny percentage of errors disproportionately harms one group of people? What do you choose? It forces developers to ask a tough question. Is a system really successful if it isn't fair? That's the kind of trade-off human-centered AI makes us confront.
So, how in the world do we build trust in these systems? Well, we do it through something called explainable AI, or XAI. You can't trust a black box, right? XAI aims to crack that box open. First, by providing transparency into how a decision was made. Second, by designing interfaces that actually explain the reasoning to you. And third, by even showing you alternative options to empower you, the user. Okay, so now that we've got that human-centered framework in our heads, let's pull back the curtain on the technology itself. Because an AI system, it is so much more than just a clever algorithm. This chart right here is probably one of the most important takeaways you'll get today. Just look at that tiny sliver for the machine learning algorithm. It's just 5%. The vast, vast majority of the work that goes into a real-world AI system is in the data engineering, the infrastructure, the constant monitoring, and the user interface. It's a massive engineering effort. And where does the power for that tiny algorithm slice even come from? Well, this quote from Google's Peter Norvig says it all. The revolutionary breakthroughs we're seeing in modern AI, from GPT to Midjourney, aren't fundamentally powered by some genius new algorithm. They're powered by access to an absolutely unimaginable amount of data.
And this whole process? It all builds into a continuous, never-ending loop. Building and maintaining an AI system isn't a straight line. It starts with scoping a project, engineering the data, building and deploying a model, but the work is far from over. Constant monitoring provides feedback that raises new questions, which starts the entire cycle all over again.
And that brings us to the biggest challenge of all, taking that carefully crafted model you built in the lab and releasing it into the chaotic, messy, unpredictable real world.
Now, when an AI makes a prediction, it generally does it in one of two ways. You have batch prediction. That's when all the answers are calculated ahead of time, like how Netflix updates your movie recommendations every few hours. Then you have online prediction. This is the real-time stuff, generating an answer the moment you ask, like Google Translate converting your words as you type them.
Now, here's a little secret of AI engineering. The moment you deploy a model, it starts to get worse. This is called model degradation. And why does this happen? Well, it's because the model was trained on a snapshot of the past, and the real world, it's constantly changing. So, what causes this decay? First, the patterns in the data itself can shift.
Just think about how shopping behavior changed overnight during the pandemic. Second, the model runs into all these weird edge cases it's never seen before. And third, you can get these tricky feedback loops where the model's own recommendations start to skew the very data it learns from.
So, given all this complexity, from the ethics to the data engineering to the constant monitoring, what does this mean for you? Well, it means the future of AI needs a much wider range of skills than you might think. It is not just for coders.
I mean, look at this. Of course, computer science is a direct path, but designers are absolutely crucial for creating how we interact with these AIs. English majors? They're becoming some of the most sought-after prompt engineers, and psychology grads are desperately needed as AI ethicists. There are so many entry points into this world. And that's because, no matter how powerful AI gets, there are some things that remain uniquely human. Creative innovation, genuine empathy, complex ethical judgment, and the ability to adapt and learn. These skills aren't being replaced by AI, they are being amplified by it. So, we end right back where we began, with the human element. We know that AI will fundamentally change our world. The only remaining question is, with your unique skills and your perspective, how will you help shape it?